Real love.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Was This Real Love, where we break down our favorite couples and we find out if they experienced real love.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about Julianne Potter and Michael O'Neill.
Yes.
Now, you may know them from a little movie called My Best Friend's Wedding, but today we're going to show you why Michael chose the wrong girl.
Yep.
So we start off with Michael calling Julianne to tell his best friend that he's getting married in 5 days. His best friend.
Jules, we're getting married this Sunday. Hello?
What?
Hello?
Best friend. Y'all best friends. And you're just now calling me 5 days. You're getting married.
Yep.
Jules, I'm scared.
Maybe we should talk about this.
I need you.
Okay, so one of the problems I have with this is that either they're not best friends for real, or he knows that telling his best friend that he's gonna get married in 5 days is gonna already present a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
We ain't friends no more.
So to me, I feel like we would not tell our best friends something because we know that they know us.
Yeah.
And we know they're gonna call us out for it. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. So anyway, he goes on to tell Julianne, that he's gonna marry this girl. Her name's Kim. She's 20. She goes to school, and it's like, wait, what?
What is wrong with you?
You can feel Julianne's complete confusion. And then he goes on to say something extremely important. He specifically says, she's all wrong for me.
I've never felt this way about anybody. When she's all wrong for me.
What?
Okay, so we're just gonna skip over that part. So you just told your best friend you're getting married in 5 days to someone who's all wrong for you. Exactly. This movie could have been 10 minutes. It really could have been 10 minutes. We could have avoided all this stuff, but nope.
So being the best friend that Julianne is, she flies to where he is to try to stop this wedding. And I don't blame her.
Will you?
She knows that Kim is going to be all wrong for him. And so she goes, and of course when best friends get together, they start talking and chit-chatting, reminiscing over the good times. But you can see that their reminiscing is like completely leaving out Kim. And she has no references. She has no connection to the things that they're talking about. She's like different than how they connect. She doesn't share that same kind of closeness and intimacy with her own fiance that Julianne and Michael share. So is something wrong.
Margarita. Vespa.
Florence.
Hey, me hanging on in the rain all night. I love Florence.
And the guy with
Julianne and Michael have something that I feel like is completely overlooked. It's
that?
called sparks.
Yes, you can tell as soon as they get together.
Oh my gosh! When they bumped into each other, when they saw each other at the airport, and they almost listen. What are y'all doing? Cats is playing. Anyway, so there's a dinner that Michael and Julianne and Kimberly all have together, and this is a place where you kind of see the real Kimberly come out, where the whole idea of Michael working for the rich father and all that kind of stuff, and then he's just like, I knew this was he gives up immediately.
Yes, he's like, ready to find anything
I'm glad
wrong.
this is happening before bro, what are you?
Just come out and say it. My job's not good enough. I'm not good enough.
Come on, son. So he's already like, I'm
ready.
just glad you're telling me now. And then she's like, what, I'm supposed to give up my dreams? I'm sorry, this is like a fight that y'all should have had in the first 2-3 months of knowing each other. But y'all got 5 days.
I'm saying.
What, all of a sudden I'm supposed to drop out of school?
Forget my family, forget my career, forget about all the things I had planned for my life.
And so then she's like, I'm supposed to give up my dreams. And I'm like, wait, let's just stop. Okay. So Kim is 20. Mm-hmm. No shade, because there have been a lot of mature 20-year-olds out there. But I'm sure she might really be into Michael. But it's like Michael is like is in a place where he's probably a lot more settled or in his way of being.
Yeah.
And she's going to continue to evolve. She's got all this spunk. She's perky. Remember that whole thing? Mm-hmm. Like, she's giving up a lot for this guy. Yeah. And it's starting to unravel.
So we see Michael taking Julianne out, spending one last time with his best friend.
Can we maybe spend some time alone this afternoon? That'd be all right?
And we see it's kind of a revelation that Michael gives to say, you have always been the woman in my life. Mm. And Julianne repeats, you've been the man in mine.
You've sort of been the woman in my life.
You've been the man in mine.
And we see them kind of finally be honest about their feelings for each other after the 9 years that they've been best friends. They've never been honest with one another. And even on this ride, Michael reveals that he loves Kim because she said, I love you to him. Like, she showed emotion. She spoke her intimacy. And that's not something that Michael or Julianne ever did together, mm-hmm. or in any of their other relationships. And so I feel like the reason why Michael chose Kim is because he was ready to get married and he wanted a wife that was free with her love, that was free with her intimacy. And they never together was like that. Even though deep down he really loved Julianne.
Yeah, he did. I think in that moment on the boat, on the ferry, it was just like this. You could feel Michael's save me.
Help me! Help me!
You can feel this thing where he's like, I think friends often put each other in a position to basically say, hey, if you think I'm about to make a huge mistake, I need you to help, do something.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was a moment where, they're staring in each other's eyes and they're like, otherwise the moment just passes you by. And they say it at the same time and you're like, oh, so they finna kiss. And then they just let the moment pass them by and then they kind of come to their senses and then it just, that's it. And that was her moment.
You blew it!
And I think that Julianne definitely realized that, especially after spending some close time with Michael, that Kim was just all wrong. Kim was all wrong for Michael. And she tries to give Kim one last out.
You in danger, girl.
By saying, look, you and Michael are just not compatible. And because Julianne deals with food, she's a food critic, she kind of used food as a way to paint a picture for Kim to see just how incompatible they are. Kim is sweet, she's decadent, she's high class, like creme brulee. And Michael is, down to earth and kind of regular, like Jell-O, and he wants Jell-O. And because Kim is so young and this is probably her first love, she wants to conform. And let me tell you something, a lot of people in real marriages do this. They try to conform to what they think their love wants. Ooh. And then 5-10 years down the road, the real them, like you said, comes out and she's like, nah, dude, I want a life of my own. I want my career. I do want Michael to be more high class and work for my father.
She said that.
Yes.
And whatever delusions I drove Michael to, there's truth at the heart of it. You see, I want him to work for my father. I want to stay in school and I want a life of my own.
And that came out and Julianne saw that and tried to convince Kim, look, y'all not compatible.
If you're waiting for that, do you take this man part? It's considered bad form. Which I thought was a brilliant line, even though she caused all this.
So yeah, we see all the signs. We see all the red flags. It's clear that this couple, while they both are charming people, they just don't belong together.
Yeah. And I'll say lastly, for me, I think the one main thing about this entire situation with this little triangle is if you really pay attention, I look at the way he looks at Julianne. He does not look at Kim that way. When they're kissing or when they're with it, then yeah, he does. But at the wedding reception, when Julianne's giving her speech and she's talking about the song, I'm like, bro, focus. Like, what are you doing? Like, he's like, like he's all googly eyed.
Hey, boy, you looking just a little bit too hard.
I'm like, you just got married, bro. Like, why are you looking? So I see the way Michael looks at Julianne, and it's just clear. It's just clear.
Well, at least they're going to have an affair.
Oh,
They
yeah.
said every
So yeah, so that was a part where they're on the boat talking about, yeah, well, this is probably the last time we'll be alone, together, And then Julianne says, except for that hot affair we'll have twice a year. And he doesn't check that.
Except for that hot affair we'll have twice a year.
Except for that.
But y'all playing games, dude.
I mean, but guess what? It's probably going to happen.
He's like, well, except for that. Like, oh, were you playing, dude? Like, are you serious? Or wait, are you serious? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to draw a line. Like, even with your friends, you got to draw lines. He chooses not to draw a line. So overall, My Best Friend's Wedding is one of our favorite movies. It's been one of our favorite movies for years. So many classic lines. But we feel like even though the writers put Michael and Kimberly together, we feel like Julianne was just a better fit. Like, not just on paper, but in the heart. And so we see that like Michael and Kimberly have no foundation whatsoever.
Not at all.
And at the slightest issue, the relationship is going to crumble to the ground.
Yeah.
With the quicks. In the beginning, we do feel like it was about like this winning him back. Like, I'm going to go there, steal the bride's fella and, all that. But it was very clear that over time it was like, yo, like a huge mistake is about to happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like all three parties saw it and did nothing.
So we hope you guys like this video as we talked about this really fun movie, My Best Friend's Wedding. If you haven't seen it, we encourage you to check it out. But yeah, if you like this kind of video, then make sure you stay tuned because we have more for you.
Yes. And feel free to leave in the comments any suggestions that you want to see us do. Yeah. And we will be glad to answer the question, was this real love?
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
I'm not good enough.